Hey, how you guys doing? It's producer from Brothers Comics. Welcome to the Who Day Over 40 podcast for long-suffering Cincinnati Bengals fans. Who day, everybody? Man, the preseason is over. That is the subtitle of this particular show. Is thank God the preseason is over. I don't know how we used to live through 4 games of this mess, but 3 is more than enough. On the line, it's 2 yards in a cloud of dust. It's Big House. Big House, what's happening, man?
What's up?
Man, that was a rough slog yesterday. And to be perfectly honest with you, much like comic books, we don't need week 0 college football either. Putting all these weak sisters versus these directional schools or non-football powers on. Week college football starts essentially in Atlanta next weekend, Hush. I don't think we need the preview books.
It's have money, will travel.
Yeah.
That Iowa versus Kansas State was in Ireland, right, or something?
Yeah, we watched that yesterday, and it's
Right.
fine. That's something
If you watched it, then
Yeah.
you're the problem.
Yeah, if you're desperate, that's fine. But
Right.
man, there was a bad beat for you degenerates out there that gamble. There was a bad beat that they called out that last touchdown by, I guess, whoever won that game, which would have been Iowa State.
The Cyclones.
And they called it back, and the over-under was 55.5. And because they called that last touchdown back, they wound up taking victory formation. And if he had scored, they would have covered. So I'm sure somebody lost a mortgage payment, a wife, a family, so many other things yesterday because they bet the over in that game, and they literally lost it by, when I say inches.
by a yellow flag.
Yeah, so man, oh man. So yeah, don't gamble, people. It's just not a good look for long term. Yeah. Anyway, all right. So we'll get into this today. We're going to talk about, as we set the show, if you're watching on YouTube, we'll set the show. We're going to talk about the last 2 preseason games. It felt like 2 years between preseason game 1 and preseason game 2 for the Bengals, and then it felt like 12 minutes between preseason game 2 and preseason game 3. So we'll talk a little bit about both of those, the win over the Commanders and the loss to the Colts. Lots of Bengals news from this past week. Going to look ahead to cut down day. Shouts out to Paul Dehner Jr. From The Athletic, the Growler podcast. We're going to look at his 53-man projection to see if there's anything that we agree or disagree with. And then the early look ahead to the Browns in week 1, which is a full,
2 weeks,
14 days from now,
13 and a wake up or whatever.
Yeah, and at Huntington Bank Field in Cleveland here coming up. All right, that's awful. Not that I have anything against Huntington Bank.
Paycor.
Yeah, that's bad too. I mean, we probably had this conversation. I do not like naming rights for stadiums. I understand why they do it. I totally get that, but I hate it. I just hate it. Especially, I'm here in the South Florida area, and the Dolphin Stadium has been called so many different things over the last 20 plus years that I've lived here.
Didn't the Heat was sponsored by that dude? By Mr. or what was his name? Friedman.
Maybe
it was
those. Yeah, well, all those people that were doing cryptos are
right.
But Dolphin Stadium has been. And when I moved here, it was Joe Robbie Stadium, and then it was, what was that? Starter. Was Starter, I think, maybe a sponsor there?
Tropicana?
Tampa. That's Tampa. No, I think it was Starter. I was there, and then it was Jimmy Buffett's Land Shark was a sponsor. His beer was there, and now it's the Hard Rock Stadium. It's just constantly changing. I just don't like it.
Money.
No, I get it. I understand why it happens, but it's just not.
Right. We're looking for a sponsor. We'll take whoever.
Exactly. Well, War Memorial Stadium. That's it. All right. So the Bengals on Monday Night Football, they got a chance to play with the full Monday night crew, Joe Buck, Troy Aikman, all the pomp and circumstance that goes with that. The Bengals actually win a preseason game. They are 1-7, now 1-8 in their last 9 preseason games. But they do win this game. First team offense, Hutch, once again, looks good. They go out there, they score on their initial drive again. And then Joe Burrow actually stays in there with the twos and winds up scoring another touchdown later into the game.
He took
We'll
a
talk about
mean
momentarily.
sack, dude.
Well, we're getting there. But yeah, so first positives. First team offense looks pretty good. I don't think they're going to have to worry about scoring points.
Scoring points is not going to be the problem.
No. I don't think
if I know betting is whatever, but if I was a betting person, I think number 9 and number 1 are going to challenge strongly for that 25 touchdowns in the regular season.
Yeah, it does feel like that. It's just so funny because Chase started off so slowly because of his hold in and worried about his money last year, and he still wound up with all them yards and a triple crown. So
17 touchdowns, right? Or 18,
yeah,
or some crazy number. Right. And what's right. And that game, he took that game 1 and game 2 was a struggle too.
2 was also a struggle. Yeah. But if as good as the first team offense has looked in the first 2 preseason games, the defense, we talked about the over-under on whatever, even though they came in under on the yards that we talked about, they look considerably worse. The first team defense, the Commanders got the ball after that touchdown and just ran like 70 yards down the field. There was no need to throw. I mean, there were holes that were just ridiculously huge, and dudes are just sprinting through there like nothing.
It wouldn't even touch football. I mean, they were just, and was I mean, there was. I mean, no one was doing nothing on defense. Nothing good.
Legitimately, Ali oxen free. Like they're getting through the line and there's nobody touching them for years, days, months, however you want to look at it. Right. And it's like,
around, up the gut.
Yeah.
I mean, everything.
Could this be this bad again? But looking actually worse than it did in week 1 against. Now, granted, there was more starters for the Commanders than there was for the Eagles, but man, that makes it even worse because now you're playing against real competition, and you look, it was bad.
On Monday night, right? People who don't care about preseason games are caring about preseason games and talking about it, and that'll make. I mean, it's something that's amazing.
Yeah, and so one of the talking points that we're going to get through here over the course of this podcast is the defense and Al Golden and where the Bengals are in terms of their interpretation of what's happening. But I think that's coming up in a little bit. And then yesterday, 1:00, the Bengals lose. What was it? 38-14. Yes, to the annual preseason finale game to the Colts in Cincinnati. They drew 64,000 on the paid admissions, but obviously 64,000 people didn't show up in that game. But it looked pretty full in there when it started. So here's the question: if preseason doesn't matter, the last preseason game really don't matter because there's nothing but future
insurance salesmen,
cars, right? High school coaches,
right? Shoe salesmen, encyclopedia salesmen,
but the score doesn't matter. The player, the game doesn't really matter. It's just a slog to even try to even talk about that part of it. But the defense looked better with all the backups, but you also gave up 38 points, only scored 14. We'll talk about the quarterback situation here in a bit. But I mean, any takes from the final preseason game?
I mean. Basically, all them folks should be looking for a new position in life.
Yeah, in career,
basically.
Yeah.
Don't call us; we'll call you.
Yeah, and I think that was basically the Bengals and the Colts, whatever, to get through this thing too. Like you're just trying to get out of the game without anybody getting, anybody important getting injured. And the best way to do that is to not play anybody important. For the Bengals, I think there are some roster spots that are available on the back end of the roster. So anybody that was playing any significant minutes there is either getting cut or, they might have a chance to, be the last person in that position group in that particular room or whatever, and whether they wind up on the active, 53-man roster or they wind up playing for a practice squad spot, it's important to them in that regard. But to watch it as a fan, I mean, I follow this team, and I was like, who the hell is that dude? Like, he's on the team. They charge people real money for these games, huh?
I would not pay to go see a preseason game. Not no real money.
No, not at all. Like
I think they're $5 or $6 to see the Falcons in preseason.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Pay more for parking.
People, yeah, the season ticket people just sell them because they're just trying to get rid of them for anything at that point.
They weren't gonna go, so yeah, this is
who would
right.
So
I got D's on my report card. I got tickets to preseason games.
Yeah, man. Hey, stop that person. They broke into my car and put 2 extra preseason game tickets in the car.
That's awful.
All right, let's move it forward. So Bengals news from the week. And I said we would touch about this, about the defense. Okay, so Al Golden did an interview in The Athletic, essentially saying, I'm not worried about the defense. They're saying that we've gone completely vanilla. We're not really putting any kind of scheme in. We're not trying to show anything here. He said, yes, we should be better at being that vanilla. But, I see the defense play well every day in practice against a very good offense. I'm not really concerned about it.
How much is he getting paid this year?
I don't know. Zach Taylor exhibited the same sort of like confidence in the defense as well. I got a bit about this after you go.
My bit is, look, my guess is that all these mother blankers they're probably going to be one and done. I'm projecting. Well, they're going to be one and done if we don't make the playoffs. And right, so. Al Golden probably has another job in college somewhere,
right?
But yeah, I'm worried, and I normally don't give a rat's hump about preseason games.
Right. I posted this maybe on social media at some point in time, and kind of after this came out. They're like, oh, they're fine, blah blah blah. I mean, they did not look fine against the Commanders,
Washington.
Right? Like they were just running up and down the field. The linebacker they drafted in the second round is all on the ground consistently. That's never good. Logan Wilson may be shot.
Right. Right. He looked like they all look like they stealing money.
Yeah, he looked slow and out of position. The scheme looked weird. Like on the one that they ran that sweep where the dude gained like 40 yards.
Right.
I mean, there was like 3 offensive linemen pulled, and there was like one dude.
Yeah, right. There was
Bengals.
Right. There was like, huh?
Like where they didn't. They just.
He came off the sideline and looked like I don't know what the hell that was.
Yeah,
and that boy, he could still be running.
Right.
He got tired of running.
Right. So my thought is that all of this, we're not concerned. They're doing better, and whatever. It very much feels like this is like the Bengals need to overcome the mental aspect, their defense, the mental aspect of being bad. Because if somebody tells you your shit for a long enough time, you'll believe your shit too. Right. And confidence is a real thing in life, sports, and everything else.
Right.
And so I think they're trying to keep a version of their confidence so they don't completely go in the tank. Because after week 1 preseason, it was bad, and then you come out and absolutely lay a bigger egg.
Right on a Monday night game where there people were watching. Yeah. People that normally don't watch the Bengals or give a rat's hump was watching.
Yeah, So I think they're trying to sports psychologist these people into being like, look, it's not as bad. If you stick to these, freaking 12 steps at this point. You stick to these 12 steps, it won't be so bad. And so which I kind of understand and get, because everybody knows, the offense included, knows like, hey, y'all are messing up, and any chance for us to do anything, y'all got to be better. And that's going to create
a whole lot better.
Right. That's going to create all kinds of tension on the team and between teammates if they're not better. So I think they're doing whatever they can so their confidence doesn't go in the absolute gutter.
But who's watching the Watchmen, though? Because like I said, on defense, they all suck, and the only person that don't suck is still trying to get some money.
And then they said that, Chris Jenkins, the defensive tackle from school up north, has been the MVP of training camp. He's played well. He's played so well that he's not going to start. So Yeah, we'll get to that here when we get to the 53-man roster projection. But okay, he's better than last year. That's good. Like he should show growth as a second-year player. But a lot of the draft picks from these previous drafts haven't really played very well, and we have to deal with that, or at least talk about it, at least when we get to the 53-man roster, about what you're going to do once cut down day comes here on the 4th. So, or at 4:00 on Tuesday. All right. Other Bengals news for the week. Cordell Volson goes down with a shoulder injury for the season. He gets put on season-ending IR. Not even like, hey, we can come back in 4 or 8 weeks. Like, he's out for the season. Got hurt in practice. Bengals were already pretty thin at guard to begin with. So they hosted a free agent visit with guard Dalton Reisner. He's been out there every single year for the past 3 years and signing 1-year contracts, I think, with the Broncos and maybe 2 1 years with the Vikings. So it's not like he's Alan Faneca, okay? Like, this is not, a Hall of Fame guard or anything like that.
Orlando Pace or somebody.
He's been out there every single year in free agency on these 1-year deals.
Right.
But he's probably better than Cordell Volson. And so the Bengals, who didn't address guard except in the draft with one that seems to be pretty good, the kid from Georgia, they are a bad injury away from rolling out me or you to play the other guard position, and that's bad. So they hosted Reisner. He left without a contract. I think he's supposed to take a visit to either Pittsburgh and or Seattle, but it would be a surprise. There's probably everybody waiting on cut down day at this point to decide what's going to happen. Right. So we've run Cordell Volson into the ground on here. He provided quality depth. Did he though, Hutch?
No. No.
Yeah, he's just like
he's
average to below average player.
Stiff.
Yeah. And so he's out. So now they need to fill out that position. They've pretty much moved 5th-round draft pick Jalen Rivers from the University of Miami into the other guard spot. He played a lot of that spot in the game against the Commanders, played a couple of snaps yesterday, and then they were like, all right, get him out of there because they don't want to get him hurt because they obviously know that he's going to wind up being
about
important.
To be something.
Yeah, now, is he going to start over Lucas Patrick? Probably not, but I think he is now the first guard.
He's on the tarmac, though.
Yeah, he's first guard off the bench,
right.
I think. And, we'll see what happened with Reisner, kind of moving forward. But, man, they are super thin.
Thin and fat boys. That's not good.
No, cut down day is going to come very, very quickly for these guys.
And we should have our scanner on to see if somebody cuts a halfway decent guard from an 18.
Yeah, scouring the waiver wires very frantically for something. It ain't just guards, though. We'll get there.
Right. It ain't. We should be on it.
Other Bengals news of the week. So it was reported this week that the Bengals and Trey Hendrickson have agreed to 2/3 essentially of this contract. They agreed to the length of the contract, however many years the extension is, and they've agreed to the annual salary of that particular contract. They just can't figure out the guarantees. Everything is done, but the details. And essentially, the guarantees is the contract. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like
the contract don't mean a damn thing after
NFL,
after whatever, right.
So if you give me a 3-year extension worth $100 million, but the guarantee is only $15 million, you essentially just gave me a 3-year deal at $15 million, which is $5 million a year. Like, that's not going to work for me, brother. You know what I'm saying? So
the players that figured that out.
Right. Yeah.
Or at least their managers or their or whatever to figure it out. The lawyers.
Well, their agents like to post up in deals too, but
right. Yeah, the agent gets paid on the front.
Yeah, but it's just So again, what is Joe Burrow signed the Thursday before the first game of the season. Then they signed, I think, AJ Green literally on the tarmac. This is going to be one of those deals where they get signed right before they go somewhere. You know what I mean?
So this is motivation signing. They signed on Saturday and play on Sunday.
Yeah, well, I guess we've run it out as long as we could at this particular point. So I guess
Right. We done took plenty shit.
Yeah. And unnecessarily. And we'll
right,
talk
unnecessary. Right. The biggest, this is the biggest Bengal season ever of expectations, I think, definitely since 89 or maybe since, yeah. So, maybe 22 after the Super Bowl, we had some expectations. But this is right. This team has to make the playoffs. It has to win that first round game at the minimum. If we fuck up, fuck it. Fuck it. If we fuck up again, the next JB number 9 is going to go off.
Yeah.
At $50-something million a year.
Right. It's just a mess. And this week, allegedly, there was a trade request. Like the Bengals were taking calls. That seemed like agent talk too. Right. Like, we're going to trade him now when we could have had a much higher value for him back in the spring. That doesn't make any sense.
And I heard, we're supposed to get a second round pick.
Yeah,
or something.
That's just ridiculous. The Bengals would, if they traded him now, that would be the dumbest thing ever.
And and whoever takes him has to. They're going to. The 3 or 4 weeks is going to be just him getting into whatever type of shape.
Right. Yeah.
And that also means that you didn't plan all this time to this point.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, that felt like agent talk. Or the team released it, like try to put pressure on him, but he showed up.
I don't think there's no pressure on him. I think no matter what, he's gonna get paid some more money this year.
Yeah, somebody's getting it. And again, he and the Bengals have all said that they're gonna give him money. They just can't guarantee. They just can't figure out how much they want to give him up front. And they're, and again, this is the Bengals being cheap.
Right. This is right. Yeah, he probably wants at least $50 million up front.
I would imagine he won at least half of it guaranteed.
Right. Yeah. I would say 3
and
years, $100 million.
Correct. Yeah, 3 years, $100 million, something like
50
that.
50 up front, something.
So the other, and speaking of them being cheap, and have this.
This story's even worse.
Yeah, this is really for you too. So the Bengals have a drag kicking, screaming into the freaking 20th century, really, about having a ring of honor for their players. They finally do it. They've been inducting 2 players a year, essentially after the first initial class. They invite the former players back that are in the ring of honor to come, and celebrate the new people going in. I think this year is Dave Lapham and Lamar Parrish. So yeah, that's great. So they invite the other former players back, and then they sent them an email essentially saying like, hey, come back and, celebrate former Bengals past, present, future, blah, 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 at the Ring of Honor game. Here's a discount code for the hotel. So they're not flying in their VIPs, which is bad. But even if they were able to fly themselves in, maybe they still in Cincinnati or close enough to drive, they're not paying for their hotels. They're giving them discount codes. They're booking tickets on cheap tickets and hotels.com. Man, that's what regular people do. This is awful.
This is right. Granted, you are the least valued NFL franchise according to that news this week too.
Yeah.
But you're worth $5 billion on the books. I know there's probably another 1 or 2 billion hiding somewhere.
Exactly.
So pay the man his money.
Right. And pay the freaking alumni to come back. You don't got to put them at the 4 Seasons, but you're not putting them at the freaking Motel 6 either.
Right.
Like
there's definitely a discount code to freaking celebrate.
Right.
The team that this is dumb as fuck.
Yeah. This is unnecessary strays that you're catching. Like you were literally firing the gun at yourself. Like it's unnecessary. Like why would you? Why?
It sounds like a grudge.
Right.
It sounds like acrimony from 30 years ago.
Right.
And he's been shitting on the team on his podcast and on the radio.
But it wasn't just him. It
wasn't. But it sounds personal. There's a personal in there.
I generally think that Mike Brown, who just turned 90, I think this past week as well, if not last week, I think that they just don't think that helps anything. Like the idea that they're creating a culture where people want to come back, want to stay. Like they just think like, well, we're paying you all this money, so that should be enough. Where this and I know this. It's the shit in the margins that make you stay at a particular job. It's not the salary. I can get the salary pretty much anywhere. It's right. The other stuff that'll make you stay.
Look, that 90-year-old man and his daughter and all them people in the front office. If we know it, them blankety blanks know it.
Yeah, they just don't care.
You right. That's some personal dumb shit. Don't hire people or don't get players from Ohio State if you can help it. Right. That's be cheap at every fucking level.
Yes.
That shit is real, and they hold grudges, and this is why we are a nickel and dime franchise in 2025, and why when we should be thinking about the Super Bowl, and we're here now trying to put a one decent defensive player on the field when we got none.
Yeah, again, we tell the story on this podcast consistently. Our boy Will Stacks, nephew, got drafted by the Steelers, but wound up playing for the Bengals for a season. They had to go buy their own jock straps and shoulder pads and all that stuff like that.
Rent a TV.
This was like 1990 something. So you had to do that. Remember, was Jonathan Joseph when he signed his free agent deal, with the Houston Texans back in the day. He talked about the Bengals out there counting how many Gatorades you took. Like, this is just ridiculous, man. Like, it's just cheap.
It's horrible.
Yeah.
Thank goodness there's the Clippers and there's the Jets and some other teams. Yeah. Otherwise, the shit would be on you, and you deserve it.
Well, the Clippers owned by one of the richest people in the world now. They don't have those concerns anymore for money.
Right, but I'm saying that all the external, internal problems with the previous owners and
I understand.
And this team probably got them too, but that's another story for another day.
All right. So, the Bengals will get this done literally on the way to Cleveland. They're probably boarding the plane. It's a Bengals speciality at this point that they'll get this deal done right at the last possible second. So, there's no doubt that he's going to get paid. It's just they're just going to wait till the end, which is
dumb,
unnecessary and dumb. All right. So, cut down day coming at 4:00 on Tuesday. Bengals got to get down to 53. I'll probably look here in a second to see if they've made any early cuts. Like, I'm sure some dudes.
People
took all their shit out of the locker room.
Right. Some people have turned in their whatever, like probably knowing the Bengals, their fucking floppy disk.
Yeah, it's like it's the ultimate. I left something in the car, and you just get in the car and leave.
Right.
Like I'll be back, but you won't, and that's fine.
Give me your parking pass.
Right. So the biggest add-on, and when we get to the 53, is probably going to be Mitch Tinsley. People, again, on the other podcasts we listen to for the Bengals, like I've been talking about this dude really since the beginning of camp. Undrafted free agent out of Penn State. He was ironically with the Commanders last year, didn't stick, wound up, signing a futures deal with the Bengals, and he just comes in and if you've seen his 2 touchdowns, he and they've been talking about him in camp. Like he looks like Marvin Jones, like physically and literally. The former wide receiver for the Bengals, and it's like, well, he definitely secured his job.
He made the roster on Monday night.
He dressed and didn't play yesterday, so that tells you everything.
Right. He is somebody. Well, I'm sure we're going to talk about it, but this wide receiver is going to be on the roster.
Correct. Yeah, there's no doubt about it. But cut down day what did they call that? The dude, the Turk. The Turk's coming for you or whatever. And again, people get a chance to, live their dream, up to a certain point or whatever, and and have it to end like this. I always feel like this. Like, man, that's gotta suck. That has to be literally one of the worst conversations ever, where you sitting in a locker room or you get now they probably text you, but hey, come in here, turn in your playbook. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like
that you should. Hopefully, if you're getting a text, you really that's
right.
awful too.
All right, so you work in an environment because I've seen it happen once again. I'm in education, so it doesn't happen very often. Have you been in a situation where they had to remove somebody from work where they had to call the security people to get them out?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
And recent too.
Okay. I've only had it happen once in my years in this profession, but yeah, that's not a good look. And I can imagine this is
right. You can't. They don't even let you go back to your desk.
Yeah,
you got to go all the way out because we don't know what you got in that desk.
Yeah,
and we'll ship your shit to you.
Wow. I mean, so they know you got it. I mean, you got to know. Like, if you were playing deep into the preseason yesterday, you had to know. Like, man, I hope I can get a freaking sub job on Monday. You know, not Subway, but like a substitute.
You're probably calling your agent after the Monday night game,
right? Yeah.
Like,
let's
get some openings somewhere else.
Is that UFL going to be running again this year?
Or something, right?
Right. Okay. But that's about it. So we're going to go over to 53 here momentarily. That again, the projection is from Paul Dehner Jr., writer for The Athletic podcast, host or whatever. Like, so he probably has a general idea about who is on what, and we'll probably go over, and maybe more than anything, we'll probably be lamenting some of the dudes that he's saying that are going to make the damn team. So again, if you're on YouTube, you get a chance to see this. This is the funniest picture ever, Hutch, when you see this pop up of Desmond Ridder on the test.
It ain't that funny. Kind of. There's one with Joe Burrow, and he got a whole bunch of horse hanging on him.
That was a bad look Monday night where he got horse collared, because we've seen horse collars turn into massive injuries. And, Troy Aikman was like, Joe, get down. It's August. Right. That was him. Again, he has to be protected from himself.
Dart got tagged too with the Giants this week too for some dumb shit.
Yeah, but Joe Burrow has to be protected from himself sometimes. So having him out there like that's
the athlete mentality. I can make a play.
Yeah, dude, and he's got that to the extreme. All right, so can you see what we're looking at here? So we're going to start with the quarterback situation. Can you see it?
I can see it.
Okay, so they're going to keep 2, not 3. Desmond Ridder is getting cut. Again, not that we went to the University of Cincinnati, or not that even we cared about the University of Cincinnati, but at least I was secretly, not secretly, like I was cheering for them when they made the college playoffs a couple years ago.
I was too. Please beat Alabama. Anybody beat Alabama.
Yeah, like, come on, Ohio, rise up. And I was like, oh, okay. And then when I saw he got drafted, I was like, man, that's kind of high, because he didn't really look like an NFL quarterback. And then, between the Raiders and the Falcons. Two franchises that will ruin you. He's about to be out of. He ain't making the practice squad here. He's getting cut. So, any disagreement?
They said he only need 3 years to get your whatever.
4.
I saw something that said 3.
Oh, really? Okay.
Right. I thought it was 4 too. Somebody they figured out something in that last bargaining agreement.
Yeah. Shouts out to Big Halleck, because he was talking about this a long time ago, that back in 1990, whatever, that if you made the however many years, the pension was $70,000, which is essentially a yearly salary doing something else, and having played in the league, if you met that, whatever that requirement was. I'm sure with the inflation calculator, it's probably closer to $100,000 now. And if you can make it, to get that NFL pension. So shouts out, man. So he should qualify for that. Really should get that NFL pension. He should be fine there.
He should be.
All right. So, 2 quarterbacks. Jake Browning looked a lot better in game 2 than he did in game 1 in the preseason. So, yeah. All right. Going to running backs, he's saying that they're going to take 3 where they usually keep 4. I could see them only keeping the 3 to hold a spot someplace else. Chase Brown is your starter. Samaje Perine, or Samwise Gamgee, as we call him here, and Taj Brooks, the draft pick from this past draft. Anything? You okay with those 3? Kendall Milton looked good yesterday.
Kendall Milton is rising up.
Yeah, he looked really good yesterday.
He looked fine. I hope we don't see him too much.
Yeah,
I don't think.
Well, he's a practice squatter, so I don't think they're going to keep 4. But Yeah, he looked good yesterday. He ran hard. He had a big long run as well. But
Can he tackle on special teams?
yeah. I mean, and again, Chase Brown's going to start. To me, and I know why they're going to keep pulling him off the field because of his size and durability concerns. To me, he should never leave the field. He should be this. That's Austin Eckler for us, man. Like he should never leave the field, ever. But I understand why, because you got to preserve him, because as small as he is, he has to protect him from himself. Yeah, he has to protect him from himself too. Yeah, because he doesn't. He takes on tackles too at that size, and
but he should be. He should be wide. I mean, our running backs should be wide open usually on the dump downs because them two wide receivers should be getting
a lot
plenty of attention.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm okay with these three. That nothing bothers me here. The fights are going to come later. Not fights. We're going to agree. Ain't going to be no fighting. Wide receiver, 6 of them. They usually keep 6. They're going to keep 6 here. None of them are a surprise except for Mitch Tinsley, sliding in there. That's probably wide receiver 5, and then Jermaine Burton, who got injured yesterday with his knee. So we don't know how the severity of that injury, if he's going to be a injured reserve, come back in 4 weeks. I don't think it was, a season-ending thing or anything like that, but he probably makes the team. But like I said in the last pod, he's going to probably be, a game day inactive a lot, more than likely, as Mitch Tinsley will take his spot.
That's a slot that somebody deserves other than him.
Yeah, I just can't imagine. They're not cutting bait. It's a 3rd-round pick. I mean,
what's he done? What
I
has he done for me lately?
Well, but also Andre Joseph is a 7th-round pick out of Princeton. You went to Alabama and Georgia. You should be ahead of him in terms of athletic.
You should be ahead of all of them except them first
level of competition. Right. Yeah, exactly. So, and then Charlie Jones, who they drafted, and people was like, whatever, but he's come out of absolute nowhere. And he's, again, if you're watching the games, he is definitely turned into one of them.
They're the wide receivers. Them folks, the wide receivers of any positions on our team I think they're all learning or did something. They're learning from them first 2.
Yes,
I can make $20-something million if I think I can.
Yeah. Right. Andre Joseph is about to play himself into a big ass contract
with somebody else,
and the Bengals ain't paying it.
Right,
he's about to play himself into one of them freaking 4-year, $60 million contracts after being a 7th-round pick. Right. And that's good for him.
Sound like a Raider to me.
Yep, that's just So I'm okay with the 6. None of these other dudes is going to make a thing. Again, the Burton's injury will make a impression on where happens in other spots. But you would hope that he would be a little bit ahead than where he is right now as wide receiver 6, as a 3rd-round pick. All right, so let's go down to tight end. Usually keep 4: Gesicki, Sample, Fayette, Tanner Hudson. I don't have any problem with any of those. If they took Cam Grandy ahead of him instead of Tanner Hudson, I'd be okay with that too. But this all looks the same to me. What about you?
Can't even block.
Yeah, well, Drew Sample is supposed to be the highest graded blocker on PFF and blah, 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 blah. Drew Sample.
I'm about to say, I can't even block. Because, we're going to need that 6th lineman.
If he was a 5th-round pick, it wouldn't have mattered. He was a 2nd-round pick. You drafted a blocking tight end in the 2nd round. That's not good. Sorry. That's just stupid. And then Tanner McLaughlin, which I think was a 5th-round pick 2 seasons ago, is about to get cut. He'll probably be lucky to make the practice squad at this point. A wasted pick. If you go back into our archives, me and Hutch went over the 18 years of Marvin Lewis, or however freaking long war it was, about them, their picks after round 4, and it is an absolute wasteland. Like at some point in time, teams they hit big on a late round pick that just fell for a variety of reasons, and the Bengals just do not do it. But again, I just said that freaking Yoshi Voss is a hit at the 7th round. But, man, 7th round and 5th rounder should be a rotational starter at some point. And this dude can't even make the team here.
Damn. So, all I can say is,
yeah, that's not good. But, these dudes are going to make it as the 4. Nobody would have a problem with any of those 4. Here we go, Hutch. All right, start your meal ticket.
Wait a minute, I ain't drinking yet.
Yeah. Strap on your meal ticket here. again, I have no problem with the starters. Zero problem with the starters. Lucas Patrick sucks, but you can't have all. It'd be nice to have all studs, but somebody's going to be a donkey. But that's fine. The backup situation is
the starters. I mean, the tackles for the first time in a couple years might be all right.
Yeah,
but that interior three.
Yeah, well, I mean, again, I've made my bones about freaking Ted Karras. I think he sucks, but
You do.
Yeah, the backup situation. Cody Ford is your first guard tackle off the bench. He's not very good. Matt Lee is your backup center. He hadn't played until yesterday's preseason game. Jalen Rivers is a 5th-round draft pick. Devin Cochran sucks. Jackson Kirkland super sucks. Like both of these dudes, we developed them on the practice squad. Could you develop them some more? Because they're terrible.
They are terrible.
They're terrible. This feels like they might keep like the 5 dudes, Cody Ford, Jalen Rivers, and everybody else gets cut, and you're looking for like waiver wires to like make claims. Like that's how bad it is. I mean, if they sign Dalton Reisner, then he might actually move either into primary backup with Cody Ford and or a starter. And then what do you do with freaking Seth McLaughlin, man? If the Bengals try to stash him on the practice squad, but don't stash him on the injured reserve for the year, he's going to get claimed. It's not going to happen. Like this would what the dude that winds up the field goal kicker for the Eagles? Was it Gonzalez?
Yeah.
Okay, remember the Bengals drafted him and they put him in a kicking competition with Fat Randy. And it was like, we'll stash him on the practice squad. And they get that. And he's a 2-time Super Bowl winner. Man. And Fat Randy is fat. Again, Seth McLaughlin might not become anything. The injury might have robbed him of whatever goodness that he had. But if you think you're going to stick him on that squad and nobody's going to claim him, that's the dumbest thing that the Bengals could do.
But I know. I don't who really is good at making linemen. Whatever team that is, if they get rid of somebody, that's who I'm going after.
Well, I mean, if I cut him, I pick him up and I stash him on the freaking injured reserve for the year. That's what I do. Like, oh yeah, we're gonna pick him up. Oops, and then he's hurt. He nicked the toe, something, and I'm gonna let him heal for the year. That would be bad. And again, he also has no position versatility, which hurts him because he can only play center. He has no guard versatility.
Right.
So, and they already have a dude that can only play center in Matt Lee. So if
the center position scares the fuck out of me.
Yeah.
And none of these characters fill my cup.
Right. I'm Nancy Kerrigan. Seth McLaughlin at practice today. I'm knocking him in the knee and like, yeah, all right, well, we'll see you next March because this is just not a good idea. All these other dudes are sucking. So
I don't see us doing a lot of good runs up the middle.
I don't see any of these dudes making the team, and the Bengals are going to be doing craziness on trying to waiver wire. Yeah, which they're 19th, by the way, in terms of waiver claims. So anybody that you really like is not making it to 19.
Right.
So if there's somebody that you think might get cut, man, just send a 7th-round pick if you think that they're worthy of it. But the Bengals don't like partying with the draft
I don't. Right. This. I'm sorry, but not sorry. The Bengals needs to be a all chips in season.
I agree. Like, what you do? I have no idea why they let Dalton Reisner leave the building. He ain't Alan Faneca, but he's better than Cordell Volson and whoever they have right now.
Right.
So
the quicker look, what's it going to take?
Exactly.
$7, $8, $9 million. Damn, that's a lot.
I don't even think it would take that much. I don't even think it takes that much. Probably half of that on a 1-year deal.
Sign. How much?
But they don't want to pay. They're going to be like, you know what? We're going to roll with Jalen Rivers. We liked him coming out of Miami, a rookie at a starting position in front of you.
We can start you. We can start you. Hell, we can get you a damn fucking endorsement with that damn horrible ass chili.
A
Just whatever it takes.
A turnstile company, we can get you
right. We just keep 95 off our ass. Keep that 99 dude at the Steelers off our ass, and 95, 91, 92, all them 90s off our ass.
Yeah, this is just bad. I'm sorry. This is a bad situation that was clearly avoidable. They chose not to.
Right.
And this is where you
chose violence.
Yeah. Awful. All right. So I'm seeing like 6 dudes make it and then a bunch of claims. Like, well, no, 7 dudes out of the 10. No, 8. Sorry.
But
you
need at least 7 or 8, I would say.
Well, they keep 10. Well, they keep 10, but the starters, the starters, Ford, Lee, and Rivers will make it. So 8, and then they're going to be looking for waiver wire claims on the other 2. Everybody else getting cut. I can't believe they're going to cut Seth McLaughlin. That's a bad idea. They better put his ass on the injury reserve. On edge, they keep 9 defensive linemen. Obviously, Trey, TJ Slayton, BJ Hill, Shamar Stewart. And then your backups, Osai, Jenkins, your boy Miles Murphy, Cam Sample, and McKinley Jackson. There's nobody else. There's a talk about Howard Cross, the defensive tackle from Notre Dame, might sneak on there. McKinley Jackson was a 3rd-round pick. You're going to cut him after a season. You're going to try to stash him on the practice squad. You have no other backup nose tackles. He was out there playing the entire game.
It's cheaper to keep him.
He played the entire game. And the word on the
sheet. But that means street.
Well, they said that they're trying to make sure his effort is matching, what they expect. It was a punishment essentially.
Right.
So
that Reiner made $2.4 million last year. Double it.
Yeah, they're definitely not doing that. But that's what I'm saying. Like, so reality. I know not feelings. The only person that's on here that might get cut is really probably Cam Sample or McKinley Jackson. And they play different positions, so they would be trying to pick up a waiver wire. Cam Sample's coming off an Achilles, McKinley Jackson's coming off on being fat. But
being sorry.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying? Like, they're going to cut this person. They're going to find somebody that's air quotations better. The Bengals aren't doing that. Like, this is your group, and they'll figure it out, which is scary in and of itself. But I mean, honestly, yeah, I just. And then, what kind of defensive tackle are you signing? Somebody's trying to get to the passer, or somebody stop the run. You have a defensive tackle that can only stop the run, and you can't stop the run.
Right. I mean, the edges it's fleet. I mean, you could run on the edges all day on us.
Correct.
And that's even with Mr. Hendrickson.
Well, he's not. That's not his specialty.
That's not his specialty. Right. He's collapsing on the. So right. You can run on the ends all day on the Bengals. And we got 5 defensive linemen, and there's still people fucking running free on us.
Yeah. So I mean, I can imagine that there's one spot potentially open, whether it be McKinley Jackson's spot or Cam Sample's spot. It's like somebody's getting cut, either a tackle or an edge, but somebody's getting cut. I don't know which one it is, but somebody is. Miles Murphy again, hurt again. Didn't play yesterday. Wouldn't have played anyway, probably because of his potential value. But yeah, it's not looking good.
Yeah, right. Miles Murphy is a bust.
Yeah. Linebackers, they got them keeping 6. They typically keep 5. Logan Wilson, Demetrius Knight, Barrett Carter, who had the interception almost for a touchdown in the game on Monday against the Commanders. Oren Burks, the free agent from the Eagles they signed. It's just a bunch of dudes here at this point. Yeah. I mean, the league has
the league has minimalized the defense.
Yeah, they diminish linebackers. When you have a dude, I mean, you have a dude, but you can get by.
But you can get around. Right. The league has figured out ways to get around a really good defensive player.
Yeah. Yeah, you can get by with Jags at linebacker for the most part if they can tackle, for the most part. So you don't need like a dude. It's nice if you got a dude, but you don't need a dude at linebacker anymore.
Right.
The league is just whatever.
The league, right? They have to be able to run side to side and make tackles.
And tackle.
Right.
So, yeah, if they keep 6, that's fine. It doesn't. I don't know that it matters anymore. Cornerback. Oh boy, here we go, Hutch. So they keep 6. So I'm going to assume that Cam Newton and Dax Hill are your starters, and then Josh Newton.
Cam Taylor Britt.
Yeah, Cam Taylor. What did I say?
And
Zach
you
Taylor.
you said Cam Newton. I'm like,
no, sorry, that'd be nice. Cam Taylor, Britt, Dax Hill, Josh Newton. Either Dax Hill's in the slot or Josh Newton is in the slot. One of them. I say this to the end of the world. Again, I don't care for school up north players. Dax Hill is an outside cornerback. Putting him in the slot is a waste of a first-round pick because first-round picks aren't slot corners. Outside corners are, and he has the athletic ability to do it. And putting him in the slot is just like, y'all wasted a first-round pick. So, whatever. Man. And then your backups, DJ Turner, another school up north, DJ Ivy from the U, Marco Wilson. I mean, again, there's Cam Taylor Britt is going into this is contract year. He's going to be a free agent. So he's going to be motivated. Dax Hill is also going to be motivated because they didn't pick up his 5th-year option. So both of these dudes, in theory, should be highly motivated to do well. And, probably
they're going to get a lot of practice, too.
Well, the law of averages will tell you that one of them will probably be good and the other one won't. And the Bengals will sign the one that's not an extension.
The cheapest one.
Yes, exactly. Well, you didn't play that well, so we'll sign you.
Right. Right.
And then there's your backups. I mean, it's all the same. These dudes rotate in and out.
These dudes are, they're all going to be 69 to 71 on Madden. On Madden 26, which means everybody is fucking 7-Eleven. Everybody's open.
Yeah. How about this? Can we? I'm saying this for the GOAT killer. He's like, get Josh Newton off my team. Not Josh Newton. Jalen Davis off my team, man. He's been there stealing money for a while as the backup slot cornerback. Yeah,
paperclip holder.
He's not.
All these motherfuckers get shot. All of them.
That's a time where the Bengals had a bunch. Remember, because they just kept drafting first round cornerbacks.
Right. They had And one time they had
4
first round corner CBs.
Yeah.
The backup was a first round pick.
Yeah. Now
the backup to the backup was a first round pick.
Now only one at Dax Hill. Everybody else.
And he is woo.
Yeah, we might disagree a little bit on that, but we didn't really get a chance to see how good he could have potentially been because of the injury. But yeah, if there's anybody that could actually be good, it'll be him. And Cam Taylor Britt can be, and we've seen him play well too. That's not true. We've seen him play well. It's just last year his confidence got snapped, and now you never know if people come back from that. But yeah,
right. Like I said, they're trying to guard Jordan and Pippen during the day.
Yeah,
and they go out there and so yipes.
Wow. So the safety situation is worse than the cornerback situation.
And that's horrible. They can't run. They can't tackle. They can't read coverages.
Yeah.
They can't do shit.
The curse of Jesse Bates is a real thing. Very almost in a Von Erich type situation here. This awful. Is bad. I know. This is bad though.
A line step.
Yeah. That because Geno Stone and Jordan Battle are not starters, but they
couldn't play for the Ohio State.
Right. They're not starters, but they are on this team. If Geno Stone and Jordan Battle were your first 2 safeties off the bench, I would feel very happy about that. But as starters,
Ohio State.
Well, no, in the league, they're good 3 and 4 corners. They're not 1 and 2s. And so again, Tyson Anderson is the special teams, whatever. I think he either made the Pro Bowl last year. Dejon Anthony is the penalty in Kansas City, which was a penalty.
It was bullshit.
It was, you don't call it at the end of the game, but it was definitely a penalty.
We get screwed by Kansas City all the time.
But I'm just saying, there's no point of they need to find somebody that's going to get cut, or a trade or something. The safety.
Jesse Bates got cut by the Falcons.
Yeah,
run, fly to downtown.
in the same breath, they drafted 2 safeties. So,
right. But we ain't safe.
Yeah, they drafted 2 safeties. Anyway, but yeah, that I mean, again, they're going to run with those 2 dudes, and then Tyson Anderson. I'm sure they're looking for a 4th safety
We're
somewhere.
looking for a first safety.
Well, but they're no first safeties out there, so they're going to be looking for a 4th one and roll out with these 2 dudes and see what happens. But not a good look.
Right. If you got a wide receiver or a tight end playing the Bengals, yeah, they're gonna get a lot of yards.
Right. The specialist, obviously, Evan McPherson, he missed no field goals in the preseason. Ryan Rico, that punter is really good, man. He can boom it. I don't know if he can direct.
I want him to have the cleanest uniform ever.
Yeah, and then Cal Adamitis, the long snapper, and he's in a battle with William Wagner, another school up north or whatever. Who cares? Can y'all just make sure that y'all ain't messing up the freaking functioning with Evan McPherson?
Snap it fast enough so somebody can't be there.
Yeah, once y'all started fooling with that, it really essentially after the other dude broke his hand in that Pittsburgh game at the start of the season 2 or 3 years ago, like everything with Evan McPherson is being kind of goofy. Right. So what can we get a steady team in there and then keep it moving from there? Because you have
we're gonna need a lot of extra points.
Yeah, you have a literal Pro Bowl kicker there. So he should get at least
he's gonna need at least 45, 50 chances just to watch him stay above ground.
So shouts out again to Paul Dehner Jr. and the Athletic folks. I appreciate that article that y'all wrote, and that's it. So, I mean, cut down day will be important. Like I said, I'll check before we finish up here. But let's do our look ahead to the Cleveland Browns here in 2 weeks. Bengals are 5-point favorites. Browns named Joe Flacco as their starter to the surprise of absolutely nobody. I don't know why they were playing this game that it was going to be something.
And no one else was playing.
Well, I mean, Flacco was – as soon as they re-signed him, they were starting, And again, Joe Flacco – Lord.
The last time Joe Flacco was really, he wasn't even really good, except for in the playoffs he was good when they won the Super Bowl. But Joe Flacco is as average as grits.
Yes, exactly. And you know what he's going to do? He's going to check down because he can't throw the ball deep anymore. 1, 2,
ain't ruined.
He can't move, and and he's gonna give you like what are those called? The contested balls, like you got to intercept him and do those things because he puts the ball in danger consistently. Right. So you have to be able to do that, but it won't matter for beans if you don't freaking stop the run because it's just going to run the ball up between the tackles all day. Right. So if they can somehow do that and keep themselves in a situation where the offense doesn't get their quarterback killed, they're going to score a bunch of points. It's just you can't trust that they're going to be able to stop anybody. Because if you go running and Joe Flacco on play action, you're screwed at that point. So, man, whatever.
And they're going to try to fling it down the field because, like I said, ain't nobody in our backfield going to stop nobody.
Yeah, but they have nobody to throw. They're wide receivers. They just signed another sexual potential assaulter and Isaiah Bond out of Texas. Judkins ain't going to be playing because they can't figure out what to do with his contract. And then they have the kid that they traded for from the Broncos a couple of seasons ago. Oh, God, what's his name? I don't know.
Why receive? Well, with our defense makes stars. Unfortunately,
yeah, that's fair. And again, and if this was Joe Burrow. Or not Joe Burrow. If this was Marvin Lewis, man, Marvin Lewis owned Joe Flacco in them latter years, man. Like they figured Joe Flacco out, but it ain't. So now we'll have to figure out what's going on. But
the Browns we should cover this game on the road. We should start the season off 1-0 for the first time in 4 years.
Right.
4 seasons.
Yeah. Breaking news: Shiloh Sanders got cut. As I'm scrolling Twitter here,
as a prize of no one.
Yes. Yeah.
Except him. What?
Hold on. I'm going to do a share screen here on my Twitter here because this was absolutely outrageous, and we'll end the pod on this. Is just thinking about what's it called?
And
Well,
Gabriel and the other Sanders are going at it in the background too.
I'm thinking about music. Here, hold on.
I already got the music.
You can see it. Okay. Look at you're gonna see my reply, I think, before. No, these are all let me go to my replies. Sir, read this tweet.
Stefanowski is a clear example of what systematic racism actually looks like, or that's not you?
Yes, that's it. Yeah. That's not like me. This is the person that tweeted it.
It's not people calling you GER. It's those in power systematically blocking your progression. Nothing he did for Shedeur Sanders was the same as what he did for Dylan Gabriel. He called completely different plays and gave him 3s and 4s, far worse than what Dylan and Flacco had. No short routes like he gave Dylan. No math protect like he gave Dylan. No encouragement on the sideline like he gave Dylan. Shedeur Sanders, keep being great and keep your head up. We all see it. We saw what happened out there.
Shedeur Sanders is a victim of systematic racism, sir.
And welcome to the party, pal.
Well, if you want to say that he was a victim of systematic racism about him getting drafted in the 5th round and them colluding about that, I am on board. If you want to say that he was out there playing with the backups because that's what he is and they didn't call the right plays for him to be great, I'm going to need you to shut the fuck up. Mm-hmm. Like, seriously. Like, Kevin Stefanowski is trying to save his job. He would roll me out there if he thought that I could win him a game.
Check out what the Colts did.
Exactly.
The Colts were like, we got this 1st-round draft pick that's black, but my $10 million or $8 million job is on the line, so I'm going to roll out this old white dude.
Again, if you want to talk about that, that's a conversation to be had because what happened to him based on hype, everything else that was coming out of college, there's no way he's a 5th-round pick. Like, that's for sure. But y'all ain't going to be telling me that it's systematic racism that Kevin Stefanski was calling terrible plays so he would look bad because Kevin Stefanski needs to save his job, like, for real.
Right.
So, I'm not on board with that one. I can't get on board with that one. A different part of it, yes, but not that part. So, But, we ain't going to see Shedeur Sanders then. We're going to see Joseph Flacco again for the gazillionth time. I don't know if Joe Burrow probably doesn't have a record against Joe Flacco. Maybe one game.
I think one.
They probably played maybe one.
One time he played Cleveland.
Yeah, okay. Well, what else?
Did he wrong?
Yeah, well, again, they're up. They're 5.5-point favorites. That's probably where I would have put it. Maybe a little bit less, maybe a 4.
So but that's really 8.5 points.
Yeah, I understood. So the Browns are
gamblers out there.
At some point in time, the Browns are going to be tanking. Like they need to because they know they want a real quarterback. They got one of them that's 5'7", one of them that cares more about being famous than he does about being a quarterback, and the other one's on AARP, and then the other one's Kenny Pickett. So you need to get a quarterback, and the only way to get a allegedly good one is to be bad. So, but they ain't tanking the first game of the season. Like that's not going to happen.
Right, they got all hope.
Right, the best.
All hope. Right, they paid that 95 character. His job is to get at least 2.5 sacks.
Mm-hmm. So, all right. You got extra music for us, man.
Yeah, the point of no return by Kansas.
Hold up.
Yeah.
We can't get point of no return by escape or expose?
Sure, we can compromise.
I'm kidding. Yeah, let the record show, by the way. I was on board with that long before they became popular.
Yes, you were.
I just need that to be acknowledged in the record.
And they were still touring too.
I think I saw that too. I think I saw they were doing one of the We Love the 80s gigs.
But what did they must have had? Did they make a second album?
I think that slow song that they made was on the second album. I don't have the second album, or I don't have any of the albums now. But I think what was the slow song? Seasons of Change, or something like that.
Seasons change or
Seasons
feelings
change. Yeah.
change.
I want to think, we are really doing a deep cut here, by the way, for people that have no idea what the hell we're talking about. But we were going to cut this off now and do a deep search on Expose. A massive would be not the freestyle that y'all know about for the rapper folks, but a freestyle group out of Miami from the late 80s, early 90s. Just absolute bangers, I would say. They had bangers, Hotch. So I'm going to go ahead and sign off. We will be keeping up with y'all as we get. There'll definitely be a preview show before this game. And then I'm good for a post-game show after a week one loss. If you go in the archives, you will hear me go all the way off when the Bengals lost to the Ravens, when the Ravens were bad with Joe Flacco. And I was on a hurricane evacuation in Atlanta a few years ago. It was not a good look for the Bengals, and not for me either. So I'm going to go ahead and sign off as a version of Point of No Return plays us off. Who knows which one it will be by the time I get to post-production.
I have a feeling the Expose.
Yeah, I'm the producer. I'm signing off. Let's go ahead and sign off.
Good night, all you happy people.
Peace, everybody. Peace.